If I were starting a business YouTube channel from scratch in 2026, I'd do exactly what I'm about to show you in this video. My client Charlie collected $15,000 from just 2 videos. My client Ahmad closed a $20,000 plus client in his first month of working with me. And my client Adrian closed over 6 grand and just recently signed his biggest client to date from using the strategies I've given him. Now, these results don't come from luck or going viral. They came from a very specific, repeatable system. If you're launching a YouTube channel to get high-ticket clients and you want to avoid the mistakes that waste 90% of people's time, this is the exact roadmap I'd follow from day one. Now, for section 1, the foundation, your ICP, offer, and your positioning comes first. The biggest mistake most people make when starting a YouTube channel is they try and jump straight into the content creation. So what should my first video be? What equipment do I need? How do I edit? That is the wrong order. You're building the house before the foundation. And if I'm starting from scratch, I'm spending the first 3 to 5 days on strategy, not content. So 0 videos recorded, 0 equipment bought, just deep strategic work that will guide everything else. And the reason I say 3 to 5 days is because you need to be ruthlessly specific during this phase. So when you say your ICP, it's not just coaches or business owners. That is way too broad. You need to get hyper specific. So something like LinkedIn consultants doing 15 to 30K a month who are tired of cold outbound and want more leveraged way to get clients. Or you can do something even more niche like construction finance brokers with $500,000 plus worth of clients who struggle with cash flow conversions. And why this matters is because your ICP determines your content topics, it determines your language and messaging, and your proof and case studies. If you don't know exactly who you're talking to, your content will be generic and forgettable. It's like that one saying, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So you need to talk specifically to one avatar. The next thing you do during this phase is you need to clarify your offer and transformation. So I'm gonna use myself as an example here. What am I selling? I'm selling done for you YouTube client acquisition systems. What's the transformation? From inconsistent manual outbound to a 24/7 inbound client system. What's the price point? It's high ticket, anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000 a month. Why does this matter? Because my content needs to attract people who can afford and value this outcome. And step 3 of this is you need to nail your positioning and unique angle. So what makes me different from every other YouTube content agency? I'm not teaching people how to become influencers or get AdSense revenue. I'm building client acquisition systems for B2B business owners who hate cold outreach. I've done this for myself. I've done it for my clients. And my angle is YouTube is a sales asset, not a content platform. Now, what do I mean by that? Every video we create should be used in your sales process. It should be in your email workflows before people get on sales calls with you. You should be sending it outbound if you're still doing outbound. The thing you want to do with your YouTube channel is you want to funnel all of your existing audience, people who don't know you, people who do know you, to your YouTube channel, because your YouTube channel will do most of the selling for you. That way, when you hop on a sales call with these people, you're not starting from scratch. They already have an idea of what you do, how you do it, and proof that it's actually worked for other people as well. And then this becomes my messaging in every single video. And I want you to notice what I'm not doing in this phase. I'm not buying equipment. I don't need a $2,000 camera yet. Still not using a $2,000 camera yet. I'm using my iPhone. I'm not researching editing software. That's an execution problem, not a strategy problem. I'm not stressing about thumbnails right now. It's still a little bit too early for that. I'm not recording anything, not until I know what I'm saying and exactly who I'm saying it to. So by the end of this phase, I have a 1-page document that answers who is my ICP, what is my offer, and what is my unique positioning. And then this document guides every single video I make. Now, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, okay, I understand the strategy, the ICP, the offer, the positioning, well, that's step 1. But the reality is most people get the strategy right and they still fail because consistent execution is brutally hard. And that's exactly why we built my company, The Content Bosses. We handle your entire YouTube client system from ideation to scripting to editing to optimization. So you can actually focus on closing deals instead of learning Premiere Pro. And if you want to see how we've helped clients like Ahmad close over $20,000 in their first month, click the link in the description for a free strategy call. All right, now let's talk about your first 12 videos. This is your content blueprint. These are the specific videos that you should be making. So now that you have your foundation, it's completely locked in. You need to map out your first 12 videos, not 100 videos, not 50, just 12 strategic videos. These 12 videos will form your minimal viable ecosystem. And why 12? It's enough to cover multiple entry points for prospects. It's enough to demonstrate authority and provide social proof. It's achievable in 2 to 3 months without burning out. Achievable in 2 months if you upload twice a week. But once I have 12 videos, every additional video compounds to the system. So it starts adding fuel to your engine. And here's the exact breakdown I'd follow. Videos 1 to 5, about 50% of your library. These are going to be your problem videos, top of funnel. These bring in cold traffic who are searching for solutions. So they're designed to make your ICP think this person gets my exact struggle. And what makes them work is they're highly searchable. So your ICP should literally be typing these problems into YouTube, speak directly to their pain, not their solution yet. And it positions me as someone who understands their world at a deep level. And here's some example topics if my ICP is LinkedIn consultant. So why your LinkedIn outbound isn't working and what to do instead. Watch this if LinkedIn isn't getting you clients. The LinkedIn problem nobody talks about. How to get clients from LinkedIn without cold DMs. Why most LinkedIn coaches fail at client acquisition. So again, if my ICP was LinkedIn consultants, these are all problems that they're probably facing and they're interested in hearing about why this problem is occurring. So we're going to make content around that. The next set of videos is your framework videos. This is where you want to build authority by demonstrating your unique methodology. You want to show your system. So you want to show that you have a repeatable system, not just tips and tricks. And example topics here are the YouTube client acquisition system, our proven frameworks, the only 3 YouTube videos you need to get high ticket clients, how to script YouTube videos that convert, the PVSS method. And what makes these work is it shows my intellectual property, my unique approach, shows that I'm competent as well. I know what I'm talking about, and it differentiates me from my competitors who just share surface level advice. And it educates prospects while subtly positioning my service as the implementation. Previously, we were just talking about middle of funnel content, which is your solution-based content. And now here's your bottom of funnel, your proof videos. The purpose of these is to remove all doubt with specific case studies and results. They convert warm prospects into book calls. And what really makes these work is it's undeniable social proof. So real names, real numbers, real results, shows the transformation is possible for someone like them, and it removes the last objection, does this actually work? So example topics like this are how Charlie made $15,000 from just 2 YouTube videos, or how Ahmad closed $20,000 client in his first month. You really just want to provide any proof you have in these proof videos to remove all doubt. Now let's talk about why this mix works. So your problem videos, they bring people into your ecosystem. Your framework videos build authority and trust, and your proof videos convert interest into booked calls. When someone sees their dream outcome actually coming alive for someone else, they envision themselves in those shoes and they want to work with you so they can have that same outcome. And what I'm not doing here is making random tips and tricks videos with no strategic intent, chasing trending topics outside my niche, creating content just to feed the algorithm. Every single video is designed to attract, nurture, or convert my ICP. I don't care about going viral. I'm creating sales assets to help nurture my prospects. And that's what you want to do with YouTube as well. So if you record a video a week, for the next 8 to 12 weeks, you will have your minimum viable ecosystem. Because all you really need is about 10 to 12 videos, but I recommend 12 to really establish yourself. And now here are the systems you need. This is the recording, editing, and optimization. This is the execution layer that we mentioned above. So once I know what I'm making, it's time to talk about how I'm making it. This is where most people overcomplicate things. You don't need $5,000 worth of equipment to start. My recording setup is literally just an iPhone, good enough for B2B. It's clear enough, gets the job done. Now for your microphone, I will say your audio quality matters a lot more than your camera quality, because some people just play a YouTube video and walk away and listen to it. So your audio needs to be clear. And you can do this with a Rode Video mic or a Blue Yeti, one of those DJI-M mics. When you start really getting established, you can get a Shure mic like I'm using right now. That's a little bit more pricey. I think it's a few $100s. And your lighting, you want natural window light or a $40 ring light. Your background, clean, simple, undistracting. The last thing you want is to be in a messy ass room, distracting from your messaging, and it kind of actually kills your authority if you look disorganized. So the total cost is only about $150 to $350 to start. I'm not buying a red camera or a $2,000 Sony. Unnecessary, especially for B2B client acquisition. Now, my scripting process, very simple, is my hook, word for word, 30 seconds, includes proof and value promise. Body is nested bullet points with key ideas. I improvise the exact wording. The reason for this is you don't want to sound robotic, like I mentioned right here. And CTAs, so word for word CTA, 30 seconds, hook, gap, bridge, framework. You also want a CTA within the first 30% of your video, because not 100% of people are going to make it to the end of your video to see your final CTA. So 2 CTAs per video. And if you want a deeper dive into exactly how I script my videos, leave a comment below and I'll show you the entire process from all of the tools I use, so you can start scripting your own videos from scratch as well. Now here's my editing approach. If I'm truly starting from zero with no budget, I learned basic editing, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, CapCut. If I had any budget at all and you don't want to work with an agency like mine, you can go the editor route, on Upwork, Fiverr. It's not recommended though, and I'll tell you why. They make a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of spelling errors. The edits for B2B, they need to be more complementary, more so than just take up screen time like with random B-roll. So I'd say it's more important to just cut the ums and ahs out of your videos to make it flow smoothly. But it's not really the best idea to work with an editor from Upwork long term, mainly just on one-off projects here and there for the reasons I just mentioned of not really the most reliable and a lot of spelling errors. So there's going to be a lot of revisions back and forth. Hard to keep up with. It's going to take you a lot longer to get your video out than if you were to work with someone like me. And the reason I say you should even do this is because editing is a skill that takes months to master. And my time, and I'm sure your time, is better spent on strategy and sales. So what you should be optimizing for in these edits is retention. So cuts, pacing, B-roll, not Hollywood production value. Now, my thumbnail strategy is simple: high contrast designs with 3 elements max. My face shows a personality, builds connection, trust. Text overlay, short, punchy, reinforces the value. Visual proof, screenshot, numbers, client results. This is my most recent one. Thumbnails, packaging, extremely important because you can have the best content in the world, but if it's not packaged properly, no one is going to click to watch. So if I have no budget at all, not looking to hire anyone, I would use Canva, $0 to $13 a month, or you should hire a thumbnail designer, which is $20 to $50 per thumbnail. I'm not overcomplicating this. Simplicity wins. The thing you need to be aware of with thumbnail designers is B2B thumbnails are way different than Mr. Beast style thumbnails. Simplicity really wins in B2B. You don't want to do too much on your thumbnail, look cartoonish. You don't want to look goofy. So you need to be careful of the thumbnail designer you hire. Or again, you can work with an agency like mine who has it all in-house for you. All you do is show up, record, we handle the rest. Now here's my SEO and optimization process. The title, front loaded with keywords my ICP is searching for, max of 70 characters. Description, first 2 lines sell the value, include my CTA link, and then add context. And then tags, you hear that they don't really matter, but I use them anyway. So 10, 15 relevant keywords. You don't want to overload this. I'm spending 10 minutes per video on SEO, not 2 hours. Good enough beats perfect. And 10 minutes is even a stretch. If you have any good AI tools, you can do this within like the next 2 to 5 minutes. Now my posting cadence here is minimum 1 video per week, so that's 4 a month. And if you really want to speed run the process, you can do 2 videos per week. That's 8 per month. And I'm being realistic about what I can sustain long term. Consistency beats intensity. It's better to post once a week for a year than 3 times a week for 2 months and then burn out. And what I'm not doing here again is spending 10 grand on equipment before I've proven the channel works, trying to learn advanced editing techniques when basic cuts are fine, stressing about making everything perfect before publishing, right? You really just want to get started to get the content out there. Okay, now I want to give you a month-by-month breakdown because again, remember, YouTube is a long-term play. This is not overnight success. So month 1, this is the foundation phase. You're publishing 4 to 8 videos depending on your cadence. Views, you're probably going to get 50 to 200 per video, mostly from your existing network. Now, this largely depends on how large your network is. If you have a massive following on other platforms, obviously this number is probably going to be higher. Calls booked, probably none, but 1 if you already have an existing audience elsewhere. If you're like my client Charlie, who had a massive platform on LinkedIn, you could get 15 calls within your first couple of videos. So largely dependent on how many people know you already. But if you're just starting out, you don't have a big following, don't expect much in your first month. And what you really should be focused on in this first month is consistency, because the goal is not results yet. It's building the habit and the library of content. Now, month 2, the momentum building phase, you now have 8 to 16 videos published. You should be getting a couple hundred per video. Now, month 2, the momentum building phase, you might have 8 to 16 videos published. Views, you're starting to get in the hundreds now, starting to get organic search traffic. Calls booked, you could expect to get your first call booked within month 2 if everything's going smoothly, if you're using your sales assets in your outbound strategy. And here you should be focused on what's working. So average view duration, CTR, what videos are performing the best, which videos are resonating the most with your ICP. And the month 3 is your compounding phase. So now you have 12 videos at least. You're getting to 200 plus per video because your ecosystem is now working and people are really binge watching. And I keep mentioning views here, but don't get it twisted, largely dependent on your niche and your following. The views don't matter. What matters is booked calls. So if you're getting about 150 to 200 views per video and you're 6 months in, but you're getting interested leads, don't change anything. We're not trying to get viral, we're trying to make content for the right people. And by month 3, you should be getting 2 to 5 prospects in your calendar every month, so long as you stay consistent after this. And then month 6, the system phase, you should now have at least 24 to 48 videos published. Your views are getting higher. Now you're getting about 5 to 10 book calls per month because your channel is a reliable lead source. And what you should be focused on here is maintaining consistency, creating more proof videos as you close clients, and YouTube is now a core part of your client acquisition system. Now, here's the mindset you need and the mistakes I see people making. So the mindset you'd need to have is you're not expecting instant results. You should be looking at this as you're building real estate on YouTube. This is like your stock portfolio, and you're committing to 6 months minimum before you evaluate if it's working or not. And you should be tracking everything like CTR, AVD, views, not just lagging indicators like calls booked, because you still need to see if your thumbnails are getting clicks or not, and you might need to make some changes there. But the mistakes you'd avoid is quitting after 5 videos because it's not working yet, changing your strategy every 2 weeks based on one video's performance, comparing your month 1 to someone else's year 3, expecting viral growth when you're optimizing for conversion, not virality. So if you're ready to start building a YouTube client acquisition system, but you don't want to spend the next 6 to 12 months learning editing, scripting, thumbnail design, and SEO on your own, click the link in the description, book a free strategy call with me. We'll walk through your business, your ICP, your offer, and I'd show you exactly how we build your first 12 videos so that you can start booking calls. And if it's a fit, we'll do everything for you: the ideation, the scripting, the editing, the packaging, the uploading, so that all you do is record the footage, give it to us, and then wait for the clients to start rolling in. So click that link below and let's start building your YouTube client acquisition system.